Test. What's up, guys? Francis and Dead here. Welcome to the channel and the program. Tonight I'd like to share some thoughts and ideas regarding how to make friends in a relatively hostile environment. So I have no idea if I should say I have an ample number of friends in this world. Perhaps we shouldn't really get to the bottom of the truth regarding such topic, because the deeper we go in, the deeper it might make you more depressed and upset. And as you may have probably well known, I hate to make you guys even more depressed, because at the very beginning I aim to bring you more happiness, more hope. I aim to preach more good news to not only to those who are in need, but also to those who are at the peak and climax of their own career, goals, achievements, etc. First of all, in order to get you a head start, you need to find yourself a place where you can freely talk to people. At first, I used uni as a potentially optimum place to get a head start. Yet it almost always ended up in failures. Why I call it a failure is because you don't get much access to those, let's say, to those people who have a lot more experience, a lot more how should I put it? Yeah, a lot more practices in with dealing with people and handling unexpected situations, conflicts during some certain assignments, tasks. Because I don't know if it is me, I don't know if it is just me or pretty much it commonly occurs to most commoner students at prestigious universities like the University of Sydney. I have always found it pretty hard to approach those professors, lecturers, except notably a few. I can pretty much count them with my fingers. I believe those senior, at least I'd say around 65 to 75% of those senior graduates, they they show pretty, quite lots of reluctance and resistance when it comes to sharing some privileged information with their junior students, kohai, Therefore, I highly disencourage you guys to make uni or your college as a place for head start to make yourself more loyal, helpful friends. Because according to my own experiences, that can only make things worse. Particularly when you've already got the symptoms of depression as well as social anxieties right before you attend your uni. Perhaps churches can provide you a less hostile environment, as well as perhaps also some co-working spaces, and always look for more. Always try to look for more, free events on everbrights.com that comes with free entry ticket, and usually they don't require you to carry your ID, dress like a pro with suits, and in some occasion, under some limited occasional circumstances, those events host can even provide you with free food, free drinks, so that you can, so that it makes your life a lot easier, mingling around and talk to people. What else? Well, I wish I could have found more tips for you guys at this point, but I'm sorry to let you know that I don't actually have any more methods or tips than those I already provided. So pardon me for that. I beg your pardon. I might still have overlooked something important to mention about. So please, I beg your pardon. What else? On the other hand, I also like to talk about the reasons, the underlying causes behind the underlying causes behind the absence of frequent communications, frequent interactions with your friends in the old days, perhaps why I began, the absence of many friends has actually been driven me to to make more YouTube videos, because I don't actually have many people to speak to. Whenever I got something I think that is important to spit out, to have some chin wax about. So and the lest I forgot to mention it, I like to compile them into several video clips on YouTube. Yeah. Reason number one perhaps is it's due to their business. Your all day friends have more important businesses to attend to, and they just can't squeeze any more time to spare to talk to you over the phone. Though I still hate to say it, but nowadays society really has become more demanding than ever in terms of the amount of financials, the amount of assets you need to have in order to keep, to make yourself more secure and stable, as well as perhaps more confident to get in touch with people on a face-to-face basis, daily face-to-face basis. Because sometimes, once my business or my work, once either of them fails to go that well, I might just lose confidence or I might just lose confidence, willingness to speak to people, physically, face to face, or over the phone. I'm sure you guys will understand why, because you lose your mojo, especially nowadays people tend to compare themselves, to make comparisons and contrast of themselves against those people around them. These phenomena best manifests on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, a variety of nowadays ever popular social media platform. Since it is quite obvious to take notice. So it's not that hard to track down the root cause, the underlying root cause behind that particular social phenomena. What else can I think of? What else can I think of? Yeah, perhaps there's another thing. There's another thing that I used to ignore, but during the time that I spent with my grandma in China, I incrementally began to see why sometimes people just cease to make contact with their acquaintances, with their associates. Perhaps it's all about money. For instance, when the child, when a couple of parents sent their children to overseas and study, those children tend to just they just tend to ignore their parents' messages unless they themselves need more money, need more financial support from their parents, or unless they got themselves into some serious trouble, which they couldn't handle those troubles on their own. They will just turn back to their to the embrace of their own parents for help. So it is pretty sorry that I injected another red pill into your guys' minds, but it is true. So once you have children of your own, you will sooner or later have to face the truths that one day your children will just will just tend to ignore you from time to time, and I'm sure it goes without saying, but fear not, I shall always remain here to listen to your guys' complaints, to your guys' thoughts and critics, crucial points that I might have overlooked. So anyway, thank you for listening and watching. I'm your host, Francis Undead. Stay tuned, stay blessed, stay faithful. I shall see you on the next video on YouTube. Cheers, have a great day or a great night. Bye bye.